Buy with confidence. It's the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J. Customers first.
Hafide and Viva Miss CHamoru on this special episode of Cruising. We are on our way to pick up Ann Marie Arceo, who is the woman behind Hurao Academy. Let's go pick her up. Thank you so much for joining us, Ann Marie. Welcome.
Thanks for the opportunity. It's a little different.
Now I know you're a fluent speaker in the CHamoru language. How did you learn?
Immersion.
Really?
My grandmother spoke very little English, and so I was raised by her. And as the eldest girl or granddaughter, as she became older and sickly, I was tasked, like normal in a CHamoru culture, was tasked to go and live with her to care for her.
Mm-hmm.
And so, boy, she was hard. When she said Hana Zunsuli from my cousin, and from my cousin, I didn't know what it was, and looking for it after 15 minutes, I give up. Mom, what is from my cousin? What is it?
Right.
And she says in CHamoru, she says, if I kumotuli from my cousin to adakilungu, she says, if I find that from my cousin and hit your head with it, you're gonna know what it is. So that's immersion. Immersion and just no choice, because she didn't understand. I had to learn.
Wow.
So I believe I was 8 when I moved in with her.
Mm-hmm.
But I had already, my parents spoke CHamoru, and I learned, of course, my English at school, and but very, very much grew up in a ranch setting. I did all the things that a CHamoru girl would do growing up.
Wow.
In those days, right? I picked a tsoti and peeled it. We didn't just buy it from the store,
right.
I did kamzu, great coconut, pick that. It wasn't in a can.
Oh, I remember doing that.
I had
it's
to
hard work.
pick the cotton and take the seeds out to make my pillow.
Right.
All the hard ways. My grandfather had a farm and a garden of vegetables, and that was part of our living. We had to go pick the frijoles, the beans,
Mm-hmm.
and clean it, pack it, put it in in its plastic bag, and go around the village and sell. So basically I climbed coconut trees and the manzanita trees.
That's amazing.
I did everything, and I wish that the little girls these days would have that experience, because it definitely made me who I am today.
Buy with confidence. It's the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J. Customers first. Buy with confidence. It's the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J. Customers first.
And speaking of children, that's something that Hurao Academy does. You did install the nanny program just this year.
Yes.
Tell us more about how that's going, and why you kind of had this vision to teach the kids at such a young age. The nanny program, again, how old are they?
They're 3 and 4 right now. Totally fluent, no English at all.
Wow.
At school. And so to answer your question, I just wanted more, within any academy. Really, that's one of my greatest works, is just trying to, I was so passionate about trying to create fluency, because I knew we were losing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just figured that if I became fluent the way I grew up, then I just have to duplicate that. We just got to do the same thing.
Right.
And so I did that with my children, right? Their language, their first language is CHamoru. They didn't learn English until they went to school. And back then, everybody thought I was crazy. They thought, oh, your kids are gonna be, the leaders in the resource room line of learning, practicing English, and they're not gonna be smart, and just all of this. And I was afraid because, it was a risk for me not knowing. And back then, it was, if you don't know English, shame on you. But because I believed in my gut that this was something that I wanted to follow and that had value to it for the long run, today, 30 years later, I could, I can enjoy that blessing that I was guided in this direction. That my children's first language, they're very confident in the language. They know how to speak. They're confident in themselves, and that's how Nanny Academy came to be. It was a dream that, to strive to look for something that would create speakers, and so I kind of kept searching, and I found the immersion schools in Hawaii, and that's where I was introduced to this concept of doing Nanny Academy through the Hapananaleo schools in Hawaii, who mirrored off of the Maoris also in New Zealand, who have similar histories like us, and losing language and having cultural genocide, right? And so we're actually really blessed, I think, more blessed than them, because we're in a position where we could still do something about not losing it.
I see.
But if we don't do it in the next 5-10 years, but I say more 5, we're going to be as CHamoru as our chicken kelaguen and red rice, right? And dressing up. We have to take it a little deeper, and that's my quest. Along with the governor and lieutenant governor in this administration, is to look at language revitalization and put a focus on that. So through the years, everybody's worked so hard. The different groups and entities have worked so hard in building our culture in the arts, and dance, and wonderful that today it lives. It has a heartbeat that we don't have to worry about. It's that it'll stop. And so now we have to do a shift and put more focus on the language,
right?
Because we could never disconnect language from culture, as our great Dr. Baton has taught. And so in that light, it's a prime time. This year's been declared the year of Indigenous languages, and it's a perfect time to celebrate language revitalization.
Right, and of course to celebrate CHamoru.
Yes.
Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1-year maintenance, 1-year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first. Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1-year maintenance, 1-year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first.
When you speak about language revitalization and what that looks like, I know that with the new Magahaga, there was a lot of debate about the different titles and the shift in the titles and the changes in the name, and even the changing in the spelling of the word CHamoru, right? It's
we're
capital.
definitely in a new era. That's why, so we're gonna face it. I think it's all positive about, trying to discern about what exactly to have as their titles, and it's simply because we've never had a Magahaga as a governor.
Right.
So it's very natural to enter into this territory of, oh, it should be this, it should be that. But I see it as a proactive way of entering this new era. The word CHamoru, as a young advocate back then at the Language Commission, learning my orthography very well from the great Dr. Benedita Dunca, and I want to give her credit for that, because there's many of us, that are still left behind because of her teachings and her her persistence that, you know, we take on and have something to that's going to last us, you know, through the future, right? And as far as because it's very hard. A lot of people don't know how to read and write.
Right.
They know how to speak, right? But it was never a written language, and so this idea of reading and writing is fairly new, you know, maybe the last 30 years. One can learn how to read and write without learning really how to speak,
Right.
and understand it.
Very true.
You know, because I mean, be fluent at least in speaking. And so we miss the whole concept of conversation, which is really, literacy is important, but literacy also includes speaking and understanding, you know, and comprehension. And so if you're missing those components, then what do you do about everyday life? You know, then it's not practiced, and then, you know, the dependency on just reading and writing it doesn't create the forum for language survival. If it's just that, it has to come in that you know, those four parts. And so yeah, it's so important, and I think we need to just stop and take a look at all our approaches of, you know, language revitalization, and start with speaking, comprehension and speaking. The reading and writing comes along with it,
Right.
but the focus I believe should be in comprehension and speaking. I was speaking with a dear friend of mine in church, and coming from you know, Spain, and having the knowledge of language and how it works, and, you know, the retention of language through life, especially Spanish, right? I mean, it's the most prevailing language, one of the prevailing languages next to English, right? He was sharing that, you know, we should think about doing more of the task-oriented language learning, like, you know, going to the store and buying bread, or going to the bank and making a transaction in CHamoru, right?
Right.
Or making a kind of dish, or, you know, learning the recipe and saying how to do it, or, you know.
So making CHamoru kind of part of everyday life.
Exactly. And that's immersion, actually. But for adult learning, I think that's what curriculum should call for, is just these tasks, to be able to just start with that, you know.
Right. And I speak Spanish fluently because my mother taught me growing up, right? And that was something that, I mean, when you talk about language, it's a really dear subject to me, because I am CHamoru, and I wish that I could also speak CHamoru fluently, but because I wasn't, as you said, immersed, you know, I never really got that full experience to learn in the way that you did learn the language. And so I'm wondering, you know, do you have any advice, anything you'd like to say to people who are really interested in speaking CHamoru, in starting, in kind of finding their way back? I know there are many CHaMorus that also live in the States, maybe San Diego area, all these different places, and they still, you know, talk about the culture, like you said, the red rice, the chicken calaguen, they still cook these things, but they don't,
you know,
speak the language.
I'm glad you bring up this point of where you're at, and I want to assure you, Carmen, that you're not alone. You're not alone, and it's always great to know when you're not alone, right, in anything. But my advice would be, you know, when we think of language learning, especially our language, as it's difficult, it's hard, or it's, you know, it really isn't. It's just a matter of mind shift, and just like the way we learn English, you know, just like the way we learn our first languages. Just start with the basics, you know, just make a commitment. It's really commitment and prioritization. How bad do you want it? If you want it really bad, then Carm, guess what? You're gonna stop saying good morning, and you're gonna say manana sizos every day.
Manana sizos.
And you just start with the
day.
basics, you know. Just, you know, stop answering your phone saying hello and say half a day, right? Just start with the basics, and then every day work towards that.
Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first. Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first.
The month of March is also known as Mes CHamoru, but of course, you were telling us a little earlier that it's not only about celebrating during the month, but the entire year. Can you expand on that? I know a lot of people, we got our weaving on, we're making katsupas, we're ready for Mes CHamoru.
All my life for the last 30, especially in my childhood years, I've always appreciated Mes CHamoru. This time it used to be actually only, I think, a week, and then it went to 2 weeks, and then it grew to a month, right? And so that was always the peak of my year, is, being, this is my purpose and my passion. And so we've been celebrating Mes. And so at this point in time, and with all the hard work from all the people and advocacy of Chamorro language and culture who, both passed on and still remain here, who still continue to push this, our elders who have been doing this, they've actually, all their hard work has brought us to a time where the fruit is so low to pick, it's not way up high, and so it's a perfect time to consider the mind shift, and instead of just celebrating and putting everything and piling everything into this 1 month, call the weaver, call the pescador, call the saruhana, call the
Asana,
we could do it every day of our lives, and have that mind shift that, okay, March 31st or 30th or whatever is at the end, and we can put away the baskets and the displays now. But just taking it a little bit deeper, to like real, authentic feeling.
The Chamorro language just has so much beauty. I think it's so poetic in a way, and I mean, why do you think it's important to kind of immerse yourself? And maybe if it's just in the simple thing of having signs, or when you go to a department, like you said, you're filling out a form and you see and hear people speaking Chamorro, which, unfortunately, I don't really see as often here on Guam anymore. But as you said, there is this revitalization.
There's a revitalization. There's actually a renaissance happening. We're doing more now than ever in trying to work towards revitalization, right? And so we just need to increase that more. We need to focus more. So in the beginning, it might be like, I'm not a language expert, even if they speak. They're not going to see themselves as teachers, but really, in a natural environment at home or in a casual environment with relatives, that's the best place to learn. That's total immersion. It's just say, speak to me in Samoan. Please speak to me in Samoan. And if you come at them over and over and over again, eventually you'll get there. Right. And you'll get over that hump. But I also ask for whoever's out there listening, the elders especially who still know the language, and I'm going to switch here for a moment. Manay nahu bayo gago hamzu gi inamiti dan gi minaasi na por favor pasa papay lenguaje gi famagon mizo gi famagonta usa hamdunik tumungo faminot Samoru praktika usa tutun faminot Samoru di famagon mizo gi gima puet gima munga mangukuha eskwela na separo matogwisa gimagahe igima na masina mas fasidi famagon po faneta pas tutun gita hagu tutun gi kada uno gita hita na para ta praktika I hafa debi para ifamagonta sa isaw para tatsuli esti gizasia esta naho mi isaw ni man mapos na tempo mala pago za tatsuli esti na tempo na putinidad antes de matay ilenguahita zata finot samuruzi tatatun praktika talo sa kwantu tatanan ilina lata yedata esta kwantu tatanan ni matungo man finot Samoru pues Munga hit munanga sa ki mata sa ki mafuna si linguahita. Por favor, hu gogo hamzu dumidimuzo be gogo hamzu aduda ham adavana aduda na parata pasa papa I linguahita ki famagwanta. Manat masi famagwanta. Haji siapo masangan zangin ti matumu man fino tomorrow zang man hano para otu lugar. Hafa para tatsowi nihi zata azudasia antes de atrasao. Pues I've just asked our elders to please, I'm humbly asking, I'm on my knees. Those of you that know how to speak to our children. You're the only ones left that know how to do it, and let's not wait till it's too late.
It was gonna make me cry there. That was so beautiful.
Up, not knowing, and especially when they go off to other places, who will they say they are?
Right.
CHamoru, how CHamoru?
Definitely.
Language is the definite, identity to every person that makes us different from everybody around the world. And
That's very true.
in the Marianas is the only place that we can speak, we can practice, we can proclaim, and not have to worry about, anybody saying you can't do it. And so we got a lot of work to do, but I'm confident that if we work together and we work in unity, we can do this.
That's just a lovely way to end it.
Biba.
Hopefully, Biba Mes CHamoru, Biba Sagan CHamoru. Sagan. There we go. Okay, I got a lot of work to do, but I'm getting there. Sagan CHamoru. There you go.
You did more tomorrow today than any other day, so you're good.
I'm very excited. It's a good start, and of course, it's such a pleasure to hear from you. And hopefully, we can see more in the future of really embodying an authentic and true CHamoru culture here on Guam.
Thank you for having me.